The film opens in 2010. CIA agents Matthew and Emily prepare for a covert mission to infiltrate the home of Gore, a European terrorist hosting his son's 8th birthday party. Their objective is to retrieve an ICS key, a powerful device capable of controlling some of the world's most critical infrastructure systems. Before departing, Emily pauses, quietly staring at a pregnancy test, while Matthew urges her to hurry. Upon arrival, Emily insists Matthew leave his weapons in the car, reminding him that they're attending a child's party. Their superior, Chuck, instructs them to pose as French arms dealers. As they enter hand in hand, Chuck realizes the two are romantically involved and mutters that pairing them together was a mistake. Inside, Emily subtly sprays a chemical on her hand before greeting Gore. When he kisses it, she captures his fingerprint, while her watch records his voice. Guided by Chuck through their comms, Matthew and Emily break into Gore's office. Using the fingerprint and voice sample, they unlock the vault and recover the ICS key, only to trigger the alarm. Guards storm in, but the pair fight them off with impressive combat skills and manage to escape. Chuck directs them to a rendezvous point where MI6 agent Baron Andrews, Emily's ex-boyfriend, waits with a jet. He warns them not to mention the key to anyone, including Baron. At the hangar, Baron greets Emily warmly, but is noticeably cold toward Matthew, leading to playful tension and banter between the two men. Once airborne, Matthew suggests celebrating with champagne, but Emily declines. Sensing something is off, Matthew presses her, and Emily reveals she's pregnant, producing several test kits as proof. Though shocked, Matthew is overjoyed and assures her of his full support. Their tender moment is interrupted when Emily suddenly feels sick and rushes to the restroom, only to be told it's out of order, an odd claim on an 11-hour flight. Suspicious, Emily quietly alerts Matthew. Moments later, the flight attendant pulls a gun, demanding the ICS key. Matthew distracts him by tossing the key into the air, giving them a chance to fight back. More attackers emerge, leading to a violent struggle. During the chaos, a gunshot kills the pilot, sending the plane into a deadly descent. As the villain attempts to escape with a key and a parachute, Matthew intervenes. When the plane clips a mountain, the resulting suction pulls the attacker out. With the aircraft still doomed, Matthew straps the final parachute onto Emily, urging her to save herself and the baby. Refusing to leave him behind, Emily clings to Matthew and deploys the chute, allowing them both to survive. After landing safely, the couple reflects on their future. Realizing that life as agents would never offer stability for their child, and knowing the world will assume they died in the crash, they decide to disappear and start over. Emily notes that cutting ties with her mother won't be difficult, given their strained relationship. 15 years later, Matthew and Emily live a quiet suburban life with their 2 children. Their teenage daughter Alice is rebellious and distant, while their younger son Leo is shy, tech-obsessed, and brilliant with gadgets. Alice grows suspicious of her parents' constant lies, especially when she overhears Matthew speaking Russian. The couple scrambles to cover their tracks with increasingly flimsy explanations. Emily attempts to bond with Alice, suggesting they watch a movie together, but Alice brushes her off. After dropping the kids at school, Matthew and Emily secretly spy on their daughter using binoculars, convinced she's seeing a boy. Alice catches them in the act and angrily calls them out for their behavior. Later that night, Emily vents her frustration about motherhood and teenage rebellion. When she notices Alice's laptop lighting up with non-stop messages, curiosity gets the better of her. Despite Matthew's warnings, Emily snoops and discovers Alice is chatting about something called chemical apocalypse. With Leo's help, they learn it's actually a club party. Alarmed, they track Alice's phone and follow her to a nightclub. Inside, they find Alice partying in the VIP section. Emily confronts her, demanding she leave immediately. As they attempt to exit, a group of thugs blocks their way, mocking Matthew and Emily as boomers. When one of the men grabs Alice's hand, Emily snaps, launching into a brutal fight. Matthew joins in, and together they easily overpower the group. As they catch their breath, they realize the entire fight has been recorded. On the drive home, Matt and Emily admit they snooped through Alice's laptop, yet still ground her for an extended period. Furious, Alice snaps that she plans to graduate early and leave for college as soon as possible. She accuses her parents of being manipulated, insisting her boyfriend's name is James, not Peach Buzz, and claims they dislike him because he's white, which Emily quickly points out would make no sense. Alice then questions how easily her parents handled the fight at the club. When they attribute it to a few taekwondo classes, she calls out their flimsy excuses, noting inconsistencies about where and when they supposedly trained. Fed up, Alice accuses them of being fake, prompting Emily to fire back by mocking Alice's fake ID. Later, Emily confides in Matt that she misses her former life and longs to return to fieldwork. Matt reassures her that they left that world behind for the family they built, and playfully sparring with her helps lighten the mood. Meanwhile, Alice confronts Leo for revealing her location, but he denies it, secretly pleased that she's grounded. The following morning, their former boss Chuck suddenly appears at their door. Matt is stunned and demands to know how he found them. Chuck explains that footage of the club fight has gone viral online. Emily greets him warmly, but Chuck wastes no time delivering grim news. Baron was a traitor and is now working with Gore to track them down. Worse, the real target is the ICS key believed lost in the plane crash. Chuck warns them their home is compromised, but before he can finish, a sniper kills him. Mercenaries swarm the house, unleashing gunfire. Realizing their children could be in danger, Matt and Emily flee to the garage. Using a decoy car rigged to accelerate on its own, Emily smashes through the door and races toward the school, with mercenaries in pursuit. During the chase, Emily demands to know how they can prove they don't have the key. Matt finally confesses that he secretly kept it all these years, hiding it in England at Emily's mother's estate. As they argue, Matt disables their pursuers by rigging a Mentos and soda explosion, sending the mercenaries crashing into a truck. They reach the school just in time, scoop up the kids, and head straight for the airport without explanation. At the airport, the children bombard them with questions. Emily claims they're traveling to visit their grandmother, shocking the kids, who believe she was dead. Emily awkwardly explains that relationships and death can be interpreted in different ways. Alice grows increasingly angry, convinced her parents have been lying about everything. Matt intervenes to calm the situation. In London, the family arrives using fake passports, slips past inspections, and takes a bus toward their destination. Emily discreetly steals a car key from a stranger, allowing Matt to secure a rental vehicle. Unbeknownst to them, one of Gore's men spots them and alerts Baron, who orders a full search and identifies the children as the weakest link. Inside the car, Matt and Emily confiscate the kids' phones under the pretense of avoiding roaming charges, snapping the SIM cards in half. When the car runs out of fuel, they stop at a gas station. While Matt refuels, the kids grab food, during which Alice notices inconsistencies in their fake identities. She grows suspicious and urges Leo to search their parents online using his gaming device. As mercenaries close in, Matt and Emily realize they're surrounded. Matt ignites a gas pump nozzle into a makeshift flamethrower while Emily joins the fight. The kids watch in horror as their parents efficiently take down the attackers. When another thug threatens them, Emily slams the car into him, leaving the children terrified and convinced their parents might actually be criminals or worse. Baron soon spots them and gives chase, but Matt disables the pursuit by collapsing a truckload of pipes onto the road. With no way out, Matt finally tells the kids the truth. He and Emily were CIA agents. Leo is thrilled, peppering Matt with questions, while Alice reluctantly admits it's kind of cool. Emily scolds them for exposing their location online, and when Leo admits he Googled them, Matt angrily destroys the gaming device. Meanwhile, Baron investigates the gas station, confirming Gore's involvement in tracking the family's movements through the children's online activity. Using satellite data, he narrows their location to a small radius. The next morning, Matt drives the family to Emily's mother's estate. The children are stunned by the massive manor. As they enter, a gunshot rings out. Ginny, Emily's mother, has just shot a bird. Awkward introductions follow. The kids are dazzled by the lavish interior, while Emily learns Matt has secretly been sending her mother photos of the family for years. Ginny insists they stay for drinks, sparking tension between her and Emily. When Ginny's boyfriend Nigel appears, the awkwardness deepens. Matt asks Nigel to show the kids around while he and Emily speak privately with Ginny. Baron traces the family's trail to Ginny's estate but realizes he'll need special authorization to proceed, given her legendary MI6 status. He secretly uncovers her connection to Emily, but keeps it hidden as he plots his next move. Inside, Matt reveals he hid the ICS key on Ginny's property. The revelation ignites a fierce argument between mother and daughter. Emily accuses Ginny of being cold and selfish, vowing not to repeat her mistakes. Ginny counters that no matter what parents do, teenagers will always resent them. Their exchange forces Emily to confront an uncomfortable truth about her own relationship with Alice. Unseen, Alice overhears the argument and begins to understand how much her mother sacrificed for her. As Emily and Matt leave to search for the key, Ginny stays behind and quietly begins to bond with her granddaughter, finally acknowledging her own failures as a parent. Alice reassures Ginny that she doesn't resent her mother. Ginny smiles gently, remarking that a child can never truly hate their parent. Their moment is abruptly shattered when a convoy of armed militia storms the manor, blowing through the gates and flooding the compound. Unaware of the attack, Matt leads Emily to the abandoned wine cellar where he hid the ICS key years earlier. They recover it, along with a letter Matt wrote 15 years ago. In it, he apologizes for taking the key, explaining he did it to protect Emily and their unborn child, admitting he couldn't imagine life without her. The words deeply move Emily, but the roar of helicopters overhead cuts their moment short. Realizing the estate is under siege, they rush back inside through a side entrance. Inside the manor, they find Ginny and Nigel tied up. Emily frees her mother, and she and Matt race to find the children. In the main hall, mercenaries ambush them, holding Alice and Leo at gunpoint. Outnumbered, Matt and Emily surrender. To protect the kids, Matt admits he has the ICS key and offers it in exchange for their safety. A familiar figure steps forward, Chuck. To their horror, he's alive. Chuck reveals that Baron was never a traitor. The entire narrative was a manipulation designed to isolate them. The gunshot wound and blood were staged. After the plane crash, the agency blamed Chuck, ruined his career, and left him with nothing. Now he wants revenge and the key. Chuck takes the ICS key, has his hacker verify its functionality, and boasts that the entire hunt was engineered to lead him straight to it. Meanwhile, guards checking on Ginny assume she's still restrained. She takes advantage of the moment, silently neutralizing them with a tranquilizer gun. When more mercenaries rush in, she engages them hand-to-hand. During the chaos, a stray gunshot wounds Nigel in the arm. Using the distraction, Matt and Emily fight back, disarming several attackers, but Chuck orders his men to take the children away. Before they can stop it, Matt and Emily are struck from behind and knocked unconscious. They awaken moments later to find Ginny beside them, but the kids are gone, flown away by helicopter. Reviewing the CCTV footage yields nothing useful, until Matt notices Leo flashing a thumbs up at the camera. He realizes Leo was pointing to his fitness tracker ring. Logging into the account, they track the signal and discover the children are at a modern art museum. That night, Matt and Emily suit up and head for the museum. With security tight, they abandon their weapons and sneak inside. Elsewhere, Chuck prepares to auction the ICS key after Gore refuses to pay him. Feeling betrayed, Gore dispatches his men to reclaim it. On the rooftop, Chuck gathers buyers and orders his hacker to demonstrate the key's power by shutting down London's electrical grid. The city is plunged into darkness, including the museum. Realizing Chuck would want the best vantage point for such a display, Matt and Emily deduce he must be on the rooftop. They spot Gore's men entering an elevator and slip in alongside them. On the roof, Chuck smugly showcases the key's capabilities, even ordering his hacker to open the Thames River barrier, a safeguard designed to prevent catastrophic flooding. As bidding escalates, Matt and Emily are delayed by armed guards, forcing them into a brutal fight. The auction concludes with a key selling for $250 million. Once the guards are defeated, Baron arrives with his team. He admits he always suspected Chuck and offers to work with Matt and Emily to rescue the children and stop him. Together, they storm the rooftop. Chuck flees, ordering his men to take the kids to a boat. Matt and Emily pursue him as Baron's team clashes with mercenaries. Gore's men intercept the chase, demanding the key, until a sniper's laser dot appears. It's Ginny. With no choice, Gore's men surrender. Matt and Emily commandeer motorcycles and continue the pursuit as Chuck escapes by boat with the children. Forced to split up, Matt evades his pursuers while Emily takes down hers and hijacks a speedboat. Matt joins her, and together they close in on Chuck. Elsewhere, Chuck orders his hacker to abandon her post and bring him the key. Nigel notices her leaving and, refusing to sit by, crashes his car into her vehicle, knocking her out and recovering the key. Reporting back to Ginny, he attempts to shut down the barrier despite having no real programming skills. Panicking, he presses buttons at random until the barrier begins to close. As Matt and Emily catch up to Chuck, they leap onto his boat and battle his remaining men, tossing them into the water. Realizing the danger, they strap life jackets onto the kids and throw them into the river for safety before jumping in themselves. Chuck's boat slams into the closing barrier and explodes in a fiery blast. With the threat finally over, the family reunites safely. Matt praises Leo's bravery, while Emily hugs Alice tightly, overwhelmed with relief. Ginny arrives soon after, and she and Emily embrace, finally setting aside their past grievances. Back in America, the family, along with Ginny and Nigel, attends Alice's soccer game. Tension builds as Alice steps up to take a penalty kick. She scores, and the family rushes onto the field in celebration. Later, Alice tells Emily she needs to study, and this time, Emily trusts her. Ginny and Nigel offer to watch Leo, giving Matt and Emily some long-overdue time alone. As they climb into their car, they're startled to find Baron waiting inside. He reveals that Chuck's body was never recovered from the crash, and then drops another bombshell. They need Emily's help to recruit her father.